I'm not doing a Let's Play today because I have something to talk about. Now, we broke the news on this channel the other day during the AL or NLCS that Chester Bennington passed away as a result of suicide. And after that happened, his widow's Twitter account got hacked. And the tweets that came about after that were pretty fucking shitty. Like, making her say that she cheated on him and that was the whole reason for his suicide. Now, what I have to say about that is, I think that is very fucking low. Like, of all the accounts you could hack, you hacked some celebrity who just died.
Not even a celeb.
You hacked his girlfriend's or wife or whatever the fuck she is. You hacked her Twitter account and make her seem like she's a bad person when the reality is completely opposite. Like, she just lost someone. Like, why would you fucking do that? Like, that's fucking low. Why don't you go hack the CIA and say, oh, by the way, we're funding ISIS and we're the reason that we're in perpetual war. Like, why don't you go do that? Like, it's very fucking ridiculous.
Not that we're endorsing people to hack anything.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, actually, no, I am. I really am. Like, why don't you go fucking do that? Like, if you're such a good hacker, go fucking do that. Like, it's just ridiculous how, you can't be dead for 24 hours and already, you got dumbass, retarded people doing dumb shit. And, the media is not even going to cover it. They're not going to cover the fact. No, they're too busy bashing Trump. They're too busy with the whole Russia investigation. They're too busy, sitting on Trump's dick, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And bouncing up and down. But they don't want to talk. They'll touch on his Mr. Bennington's death, but then it'll just go away, and they'll go back to Russia.
Yeah.
There are more important things in the United States.
Trying to get Trump impeached.
Which isn't gonna happen, by the way. It's not. Like, the Democrats would be dumb to do it, but what else is new? Like, they do dumb shit. Like,
the Democrats.
They do dumb shit like make Hillary Clinton their nominee and then are surprised when they lose to the most beatable candidate in the history of the U.S. elections. So that's all I really have to say. I'm not doing a Let's Play of my new character, Donnie Tiny Hands. Kind of fitting. I just had to close this all up. But I just think it's rather bullshit that you'd have a hacker who would be so low as to, do this kind of bullshit when he could use his talents for more useful things. So that's all I really have to say.
No, but
yeah, exactly.
Shambles.
John, do you have anything to add?
Fuck that, man.
No?
He's too busy drinking.
When someone's already mourning, don't fuck with them.
No, exactly. It's true.
I mean, this is not a celebrity. This is a regular person.
Wife.
Yeah,
somebody's wife.
Essentially
exactly.
a regular person.
It's somebody's girlfriend, it's somebody's father. Like the kids, like I can't even imagine what the kids are gonna go through with this. And everyone's, and to even touch on that, everyone's like, oh well, he was selfish for doing this to his family. Okay, like if you think that
If you're unhappy, family's not gonna,
if
I
you
mean, it
think
should,
suicide is selfish, you've never been depressed, you've only been sad. You don't know what suicide is like. You don't, if you, like, I had exactly what I was going to say earlier in the day, and I should have wrote it down. But it's something along those lines. If you think that depression is just sad feelings and they go away, like if you think it's as easy as saying, oh well, you have kids, then you have no idea what suicide is. So that's all I that's just it. Like it's completely sad what happened, and I just think that people need to take a step back and just mind their own business when it comes to
and seriously, shut the fuck up.
yeah, honestly, because you don't know what's going through somebody's head, and you can't say that they're being selfish, because I don't think his widow is saying, oh well, he's selfish because he left me and the kids. Like, she's not thinking that at all. She just lost somebody.
I've also heard rumblings that it might not even be suicide. It could be murder.
Yeah, I have that too, but that stuff happens.
I
Comes out.
hadn't heard that. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
It's
if
only
you go,
rumbling because Chris Cornell.
well, if you go, well, yeah, if you go and, well, even you could say that there was a connection there, but you could say, you go and look at his music videos, like for example, Shadow of the Day, for example.
Yep.
That's a political message right there. Like, maybe somebody somewhere higher up was getting sick of his political messages and wanted to send a message. I don't know. So if you want to say if there's some speculation that it's murder, well, maybe it is. But I'm not saying that for the sake of this message, for the sake of this video. I'm just saying that if you want to start making speculations, you could say, well, maybe there is some sort of cover-up. But
It could be so many different things.
it could be. Like,
But that's all conspiracy theory, and that's how conspiracy theories start in. And there's always going to be that kind of
well,
shit.
yeah,
It's-
I do. I
quite
agree with
honestly,
that.
It's
I
kind
agree
of
with
bullshit.
that. It.
You know,
Well, I mean,
like
well, I think there's conspiracy theories for everything. If you,
Well, there's always going to be, yeah.
But
mean,
it just depends on if you believe the original story, or if you think that there is a possibility it could be something else.
Mhm.
And that goes for just about any sort of tragedy that's ever happened.
Mhm.
There there were conspiracy theories for 9/11 being an inside job, and whether or not you
Yep.
believe that, is a person by person basis. But I have a hard time believing that a coordinated effort of terrorists was able to thwart the strongest intelligence agency undetected and get into some planes. And they were supposed to get in more planes, by the way, just so you know.
Yep. Not just the 4 that we had, yeah.
Yeah, there were supposed to be more planes, There was supposed to, one of them, I think the one that landed in
Honestly,
Pennsylvania.
the main start of this is the main start of this whole conspiracy theory, and what's pretty much supports the whole conspiracy on 9/11 is the fact that, you know, we trained Al Qaeda, we trained Bin Laden.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, without a doubt. So I just it's ridiculous, and it just goes back to what I was saying. Like, you know, if you if you wanna hack somebody, go hack the CIA, and find out, you know, why the hell they're funding ISIS and keeping this war going.
And
What?
CIA, if you're listening, nah, we're not, saying exactly encouraging people to
No,
hack anything.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just
We're
saying.
not responsible for you if you get caught.
No, I'm just saying. You know, the government needs to be held accountable for its actions, and you know they're misleading the people, and they have the media arm to do that for them.
Brainwashed.
hmm That's why I don't watch the mainstream media anymore, and I will encourage other people, don't watch the mainstream media, because it's all lies, it's all bullshit. George Carlin said it best. It's a club and you're not fucking in it, so.
Pretty much.
Amen. Would you look at that? A Republican and a Democrat agreeing on something.
George Carlin is one of my favorite comedians, because he didn't
I love George Carlin.
He didn't believe any of the bullshit coming from the left or the right, and that's definitely something. As a, you know, I consider myself liberal slash independent with some, you know, I believe in being fiscally responsible, but you know, I do believe in a lot of liberal ideas, like, you know.
Oh, yeah, well, I consider myself independent with a lot of conservative views. I don't support big government. I don't support friggin'.
Well, it just depends on what you mean by big government. Because if you mean
Big government causing martial law and stuff like that, yeah, sure. You know, government controlling everything.
isn't that what they are doing? I mean, isn't that where we're
that's
headed?
What Obama was doing.
Well, I think that's where we're still headed. I mean, you have Donald Trump now, who is the most disliked president in the history of the country. Whether you choose to believe that or not is completely up to you, but the fact remains, he's got one of the lowest approval ratings of any president in history.
And then it's gonna keep going down and down and down until the shit
Obama
gets
had the
fixed.
lowest approval rating when he was elected too, so, you know. You know, as much as I disagreed with frickin', didn't like Trump to begin with, doesn't mean his policies aren't completely right.
What?
The approval rating started really going down for each president since, like, Clinton, Bush Jr.
Carter.
Yeah.
I think Bush Jr.'s highest approval rating probably came after 9/11, because he kind of, and honestly, he brought the country together for the wrong reasons. He made everyone believe that
he got an approval rating, and he won it again in 2004 because of 9/11, but also because of John Kerry and, his puss attempt of trying to unite, honestly, Kerry wasn't the right choice for president. He'd probably make a decent vice president.
No, I agree with that. I do. I agree. Well, it goes to
I mean?
it goes to what one of the independent media that I follow, not the Young Turks, but
Not the Young
not the
Turks.
Young Turks, but somebody who works for the Young
Oh, I thought
Turks.
you said Young Turds.
Young Turks. I don't know.
Young turds.
Young Turks. But
Young
Turds.
Turks.
anyways, you guys should really check out independent media. I can tell you guys don't, but you should.
I do, just not your independent media.
No. Well,
Yeah.
not all of mine is bad. Like I follow Jimmy Dore, and he literally says that he believes that the Democrats purposely choose weak candidates, and he believes that's what the donors want. The donors want strong Republicans and weak Democrats, which I don't know how you scale what a strong Republican is, because I don't think any of them are strong. But compared to the Democrats, they are definitely stronger.
You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, Schwarzenegger said it. It's all, you know how they keep getting reelected? It's gerrymandering.
Well, there's definitely that. That's definitely an issue, and I definitely think that um, you we definitely
You know, you need to they need, what needs to happen with that? They need to
well, they need to redraw the districts,
reassign the
but
district.
they
Yeah.
need to redraw the districts, but they also need to um, have an independent body do it. It can't be just Republicans and Democrats. It has to be, you have to get everyone has to be involved. Like, it can be Republicans, Democrats, independents. There's a lot of different viewpoints, and you can get people together to draw the districts in a way that's not leaning towards one side or another.
Yeah,
So,
pretty much.
but that's just getting away from the main point of the video.
But,
or
well,
the
it's,
discussion.
you know what? It's not going to happen because,
No, it's not gonna
I mean,
happen.
it'll happen,
It's,
but
it's
it'll happen eventually.
it will only happen if there's a constitutional convention, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And how that comes about, I don't know.
It's, while this country's still divided, it's not going to be...
No, it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be overnight.
Yeah, somebody first has to bring it to Congress, and that's not going to be easy to get through to Congress.
Well, and then another thing to go along with that is we also need a different voting system, because the way we vote now is I don't think it works, because it's too easy to manipulate the votes.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in what is it, ranked choice voting, where you can choose your top choice and then go down from there. Like, your first choice is that, and then so they basically count all the first choice votes, then they go down and do the second choice, and whoever's got the most first choice votes is the winner. And then you do that until all the lower
For
votes
a general election?
Yeah, for the general. Well, I don't know how they do primaries, but yeah, the general election. Yeah, that's how they would do it.
See, I could see that getting messy. I could see that being, okay, first choice is the guy I really want. Second choice, I'll write in my dad. Third choice, I'll write in Vermin Supreme. And that's how I see that going.
Yeah. But
Well, I
that's
don't
how
know
we're
if.
doing
Well,
it
I don't
now.
know. Well, I don't know if write-ins would be. I don't know if write-ins would be possible in a ranked choice vote. I'm not
Well,
sure.
you can't really take those out though.
You
Yeah,
can't.
it's
No,
freedom
you.
of- freedom
well,
of
no, I
choice.
understand. I understand that, but I think.
I mean,
Well,
granted, in some states you can't register as independent. You have to either do Republican or Democrat. Like New
Alright.
York, that's completely Republican Democrat.
What's up, Phil? You're in the middle of a
You're in the
political
You're in the
middle
middle
debate
of
on
a
of
live stream.
YouTube.
you're in the middle of a
What
live.
the fuck did I just walk into?
You walked into a political discussion. Actually, it started off. We were talking about the death of Chester Bennington, and then it just branched
And
off.
Nobody.
his widow's Twitter account getting hacked.
Yeah, I read
What the
that.
fuck?
I read that yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, her Twitter account got
No one
hacked.
could be as depressed as this guy. Next Friday, I was going to Citi Field, live in concert, Blink-182, and Linkin Park
Yeah.
was supposed to fucking be there.
Yeah.
I hear on the fucking radio on Thursday afternoon heading
Yeah.
to work, Chester Bennington has taken his life and committed suicide.
Yeah.
What? I wanted to turn my car around, just close the blinds and lie in bed and say, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
I was a 1 week,
Yeah.
1 week away from seeing his ass live in concert. Linkin Park, Blink-182 together for the first
Yeah.
fucking time, and it got ruined by
Yeah.
him taking his fucking life.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that, man?
Yeah.
Sucks,
You
man.
can't really blame him if he was unhappy, but it still sucks.
Like, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. You can always tell when an artist is unhappy by listening to his music.
Yeah.
But his music was fucking like kicked ass.
Yeah.
And you would think that he would use his music to be an inspiration to others who have had life
Well,
shit thrown at them
yeah.
in life.
well, I think that.
And not
Well,
let
I
it beat him.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I think
Yeah,
that's.
but
Well, I think that's
with
what.
that-
I think
But
that's what it was.
he's been doing it for so long. You don't know how long he's been battling, this
Well,
depression.
I mean, we
He's
can.
had his fair share of drug abuse and alcohol, but fucking what actress has? I mean, what artist hasn't?
Yeah.
But Jimmy, what are you saying, bud?
Well, what I was gonna say is, well, to that, if you think that, well, I mean, hindsight is 20/20 for one thing,
Yeah.
but if you think that you're in a situation where you can't deal with what's going on, then you definitely need to seek help. Like there's
Yeah.
no question about it. Like maybe
And ending your
maybe he
life
tried,
is
maybe he
never-
tried and nobody was
Yeah.
listening. We don't know. We
No.
don't know.
They haven't really gotten
There's
full
only so much you can
detail.
take.
Yeah.
It sucks though, you wouldn't think like a guy who just sings, an artist like himself, is going through so much of this. Like there's so many
at
other
Robert
people
Williams.
out there that sing, like, for example, like, I don't mean to compare him, but look at Taylor Swift.
Mhm.
All her fucking songs are about breakups and getting back together for boyfriends.
Yeah.
That's all her songs are. They're
Yeah.
all about breakups. If it's a dark song, that means this guy fucked up and she broke up with him.
Right.
But for her to sit there and slit her wrists over it, I just can't see that.
Yeah.
I can't just see her taking her life because some guy
No.
doesn't want to be with her the rest of his life.
Right.
Now he's more of an adult. He's 41 years old. He has
Yep.
6 kids and 2 wives. Well, he had 6 kids within 2 wives. I'm sure he's just married to the one right now.
Right.
But he was married twice and he had kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hear that he was abused by
Yeah,
an
I heard that
older
too.
adult male. They
Yeah,
never
I
said father. They never said uncle. They just said an elderly adult male.
Yeah.
Which can be anybody. It could be a fucking priest or a cop, whatever.
Yeah.
A neighbor guy, maybe burning cigarettes on his
Yeah.
body, whatever. There's always
Right.
fucking douchebags out there.
Yeah.
They never really never really said it was his dad or anything. They just said an adult male used to abuse him when he was little.
Yeah.
But
And
that
then
sort of
that
shit
case
can
line
fuck
goes
with your
with,
head.
fondling his
Yeah.
balls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
so you would think he will be able to get counseling and get over that. At a young age, it's difficult, but you would think that his music would get him over it. Just to being with his band would have been able enough to perform in front of thousands of people would be enough
Yeah.
to get over all this, to overcome it. But like you guys said,
Right.
there's just so much shit Like,
Yeah.
look at these high school kids now killing themselves because of bullying,
Yeah.
because they can't
Mm-hmm.
take it no more.
Yeah.
Because, like you're saying, they're too afraid to go to their parents,
Yeah.
whether their parents are not telling them what they want to hear, they're not helping them, they're
Yeah.
allowing the kid to be bullied, and they're sitting there saying, well, maybe he doesn't mean any harm. You know, bullshit. My
Yeah.
kid, if I ever had a kid and he's getting bullied, he comes to me, I'm going straight to the school, or I'm grabbing the piece of shit kid that did it, and I'm bringing him to my house, and I'm sitting his ass down and talking to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's always a threat.
Well,
It's
well,
always a
that's
threat. You threat the kid, don't touch him, threaten him, he can't do shit.
yeah.
I'm like,
Well,
listen, what
it's
you have
like
done to my son, punk, you go to the fucking authorities, I will fucking end your ass, you know?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, to use my own personal experience with that, for example, like,
Like the
I guess I was more strong-willed, go
like the
even
douchebag that
even being
said that
bullied.
comment to you a couple of months back,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
The kid said,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, like I've just become so numb isn't even the right word, but I've just become I just have a strong will about me that I don't let certain things affect me as much, even though you have like you said, like when that one person, said that thing, like, occasionally you're gonna have moments where certain things happen and it brings it triggers you, for a lack, I hate that freaking term, by the way, but triggers you and brings
It's a
you,
snap. Yeah.
it just brings you to a place where you don't want to be.
Like, why'd you have to say that for? I was in such a great and fantastic
Right.
mood, and you just shit
Right.
on me. Like,
And
why'd you
well,
have to
and
say
that's the
that,
thing.
dude?
Like I was like up until that point, I was having a good day and I made it known, and then that shit happens. So,
It's like you just jinxed yourself. You opened your
yeah,
mouth and you
pretty
jinxed
much.
yourself, and it
Yeah.
sucked. Because why'd you had to go through that?
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
There's always going to be there's always going to be fucking dickheads out there.
Yeah.
So, you can use a
Yeah.
big word to describe it, but they're fucking dickheads.
Yeah.
You always gotta use, these
Yeah.
words to describe people, but it's still,
Yeah.
but that just sucks, man. I was looking.
Yeah. Like I hadn't been to a Linkin Park concert ever, and when I heard that they were
What the hell?
coming.
My controller just disconnected.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
when I heard that they were coming to Mansfield, Massachusetts, I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested in it, and then this happened, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh,
Like they
damn.
canceled their
Like I
North
had,
America
yeah,
tour.
yep,
They were gonna go to Europe. They cancel that. They're
yep,
canceling everything now because
yeah,
this band right now is in grief, and now after they get over his death, they're gonna be expendable now.
yep,
Now there's going to be other bands out there looking for a guitarist, a bass, a drummer, and they're probably going to go ahead and just split up. They
yeah.
lost their lead. They lost their
Well,
leader. That's
yeah,
it.
that's what I think is gonna end up happening. It's gonna be the end of Linkin Park, which
Like,
is
don't get me
sad.
wrong. Like, I feel like if it was the drummer or singer, guitarist, drummer, or bass,
Hmm.
I think the band itself would stay intact.
Yeah, but
I
when it's
think
the
they would
lead
still.
singer, yeah, but when it's the lead
Yeah,
singer, it's completely
yeah, that's the
different.
thing though. Like the lead singer changes the whole thing because it's not like they sat there having a backup behind them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like his
Yeah,
brother's sitting there singing
yeah,
and taking after him. No, he doesn't have a backup. That's not how
yeah,
artists work.
yeah.
It's not like sports.
Hmm.
Your quarterback goes down with an injury. Well, that's why you have a backup for.
Hmm.
There's no backup lead singer to when your lead singer commits suicide. It's fucking over. Your band is done.
Yeah,
Like, unless you're just starting out, then you can always, after a couple months taking time off, you can always find a new lead singer.
yeah.
But Linkin Park has been around for fucking 20 years at least,
Oh,
15,
yeah,
10, 15 years. There's
yeah.
no replacing this guy.
No, there isn't.
This
Yeah.
No,
band
not
is
at
not
all.
going to just be like, we're going to make a Linkin Park 2.0 now. No,
Yep.
I mean,
it's over.
this is
Yeah, it's
not
not
like
going to be like Event
AC/DC.
7 or Event
Exactly.
Sevenfold.
Yeah, like these bands, they'll just like say screw it, like whenever who's still living, the Beatles, who's still alive from the Beatles, like
Ringo
like
and and
yeah,
McCartney, I think.
Yeah,
and that's
Palmer.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
They'll keep playing their music because the lead singer is still alive, right? McCarthy's their lead singer. They're still able to
Yeah.
well,
they're still
I think
able to
Lennon was.
perform.
They kind of mixed it up. I mean, there were songs where one guy would lead, and there were songs another guy would lead.
yeah,
But they figured
But
that they
Ringo
can
was the
still
drummer,
perform.
Yeah, they could
Like
still
right now
perform.
that they're still able to perform. I don't see the guitarist taking the mic and saying, "Guys, I'm gonna be the lead singer now." I
Yeah.
don't see that.
Yeah.
no,
I
no.
think
I mean, I can
every
see.
time,
I can see the band reforming under a different name and getting a new lead
Yeah.
singer. That's completely fine.
yeah,
Yeah, like
I
a
mean-
tree to Alter Bridge.
but Linkin Park
Bridge
will
Street.
always be for Chester
Yeah.
Bennington. Like they want that to be in
Yeah.
honor of his name.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
You don't go ahead and just be like out there a year later, oh, Linkin Park hired a new lead singer to replace Chester. It's like,
Yeah.
no.
no.
I think that would be disrespectful,
Yeah,
and I think that would be spitting on his name,
yeah.
like if they ever fucking do that.
I would
I mean-
not buy those albums.
No, I
No,
wouldn't
I
either.
think everyone will be sick to their stomach, and they will
No.
get so
Yeah.
hated for it that they'll be a disgrace. Like,
Yeah.
how can you just move on from his death and just continue? Like, hey, you want these guys want to continue as a band? That's okay, but just change your name. You gotta.
Yeah.
Linkin Park buries with Chester, and when you guys pass away, your name goes into the hat. You
Yeah.
bury with Linkin Park as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You guys will
Yeah.
go on your own little gravestone. But don't think that you're just gonna hire a lead singer from Green Day or Good Charlotte or all these other fucking bands and just like, oh man, hey, lead singer role just opened up. Who wants it? No,
Right.
you don't. That's
Yeah.
disrespect and all that shit.
You know what I mean?
Everyone's always gonna remember Chester.
Yeah.
It's not like Stone Temple Pilots where, Scott Weiland left and they had a parting ways and, Chester Bennington came in for, I don't know, one or two songs. Scott Weiland
it's
was
like
still
when,
alive.
It's like when Jay-Z and Chester Bennington played that song together. Like what? Jay-Z's now able to step in and sing. Oh, I sang a Linkin Park song. Oh, I can do this. No,
Right. Yeah. No.
it just won't be right. Because
No.
the thing is, Jay-Z sang his version, and Chester has his version.
Right.
Right.
It just, it definitely, not only does it suck, not only is it shocking and very upsetting to lose, someone like him to a band that I think everyone knows. Linkin
Yeah.
Park is no stranger to people. People probably grew up listening to Linkin Park,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah,
their
definitely.
songs probably
Oh, I
inspired
definitely did.
others to get over their issues, their problems that they're
Yeah.
struggling with. Like,
Well, I
this is the
definitely,
end.
you know-
Numb.
You know?
Like you would say,
Well,
like
it's
you
like
even
I-
said numb, like you felt numb. That
Right.
was one of their songs was
Yeah.
numb,
Yeah. Well,
And
no,
unfortunately,
it was like I always turned to their because there, like I said, there was a couple rough patches in my life, and I turned to their music, and their music definitely helped me get through those times.
Man, it calms you down.
Yeah.
Because the lyrics, you listen to the lyrics of them. And I'm wrong, he was a little screamo at first. He's like crawling, he screamed a little bit because when people are writing songs, there's always a part in their song where they're calm.
Right.
And then there's a part when they're screaming, that's the part where they're depressed.
Right.
Like they're just expressing themselves.
Yep.
Like there's always songs. Like don't get me wrong, I don't mean to keep quoting movies and other shit, but I'm sure all of you guys saw The Wedding Singer.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Remember
Yeah.
when Adam Sandler wrote a song about Vicky? It was when they were together, and then he wrote it when they were broken up.
Yep.
And you saw the two different versions of his song.
Yep.
He was calm. You were able to make out his words. And then all of a sudden he goes into this scream mode hate, like, somebody kill me, please. I'm on my knees, pretty please. kill
Yeah.
me.
Right.
Because that's the breakup part. That's the part that fucking crushed him. And, I know it's a movie, but this is also how artists writes their songs.
Yeah.
When they're singing, you're able to hear them, and then when they really get into it, it's like, oh shit, I know what this guy's going through. He's going through
Yeah.
some serious shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
he
He's
had
either
his
going
issues.
through a breakup or some sort of
He had his
drug or
issues
alcohol.
and drugs and alcohol. Turned to drugs and alcohol.
Yep.
I think he got caught.
And I'm really sure that he got silver after that. I think that he was fine after that. I think it was
And
just the
then-
fact that maybe his past was catching up to him a little bit.
And then, Chris Cornell last year.
Yeah.
Well, they
heard-
said
That was
I
one
heard
of his
about
best
that.
friends.
Yeah, I heard about that.
they said that
And,
an employee found his body. Are they talking like a gardener, a pool guy, or something, or?
Yeah, I think so. Or a
I'm
manager.
just thankful, like, it wasn't like. I'm always looking into that, like, who found him. I never want to see a child finding their dad, or
Oh,
anyone
yeah,
for that matter.
definitely.
Any kid, to have that image, to be traumatized to see a dead body at such a
Yeah.
young age. I always
Yeah.
look and read those articles and make
Well,
sure,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
thank God
no
the
amount
kid
of
did not
therapy.
see it.
Well, yeah, no amount of therapy is ever gonna get those images
Yeah, it was
out of your head.
It was his housekeeper.
Yeah.
Housekeeper.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah.
family just stepped out, right? They were out shopping or eating or whatever, and they come home
Something
to
like
that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think he was in a state of perpetual bereavement.
Yeah.
I don't want to bring Chris Benoit into this, but I was just listening to the podcast Jericho had on with Chris's wife's Nancy's sister, and she was explaining that Chris was in a perpetual state of bereavement.
Yeah.
Along with drugs, alcohol, and mixed. It's a nasty combination.
Well,
You know?
yeah, and that's the thing, you have these, vices, and people use them, but they abuse them, and
You have, yeah, and these vices, they can only mask the pain for so long.
right, but it's not a permanent fix, and until people are willing to admit that they have a problem, and whatever steps they need to address that, and work to fix it, nothing's gonna change until you take those steps. Maybe, but
Yep.
but again,
You also have to, admit that you have an issues and you need help.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you keep them to yourself, no one's ever gonna know what's bugging you.
right,
You keep them bottled up, and then you're gonna go into.
Yeah.
And then it's
rage.
like, because what's gonna happen is they find his dead body. Now all of a sudden the cops are gonna come. They're gonna
Yeah.
investigate. They're gonna say, has your husband showed any signs of emotions? How has home been? How have the two of you been?
right.
Has he seemed angry? Did he seem depressed? Did he seem
Yeah.
okay with you? And now
Well,
the mother feels
yeah.
like, the wife is gonna feel like she's on fucking trial. Like, are
yeah.
you saying that I drove my husband to kill himself?
Yeah.
And sometimes they like to twist it on you and be
Well,
like,
and
I'm not
that's the
saying
thing.
that. I'm just
Well,
asking you.
And that's the thing. To what extent are they going to look into this so as
Exactly.
to not cause further trauma to her and her kids?
Exactly. Like I'm
But
sure
at the
I'm sure the
same
wife's gonna
time,
say,
you still need to. Answers still need
figure
to
out
be had.
what the fuck happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Was he seeing? Did he take any medicine? Was he on any? Was he on anything? Was he seeing a therapist? What was his schedules like? Was he just living every moment, every second, every day?
Yeah.
Like, was he at the studios a lot? Did he see? Like, they're always gonna ask you, like, was he on medication? Was he taking his medication?
Mhm.
Who's his doctor? When was it assigned to him? Who was his therapist? Blah, blah, blah. What did they talk? And then they got to get the doctor involved. And they got to get the therapist involved. And then they got to ask her questions. Well, how did you think your client felt? Was he unhappy? And then she has to go through her notes or his notes. And, it all depends. It all depends if he was seeing counseling or not. If he was going to a rehab station, and they gotta look at the doctor and they gotta see, well, what were you giving this patient? Were you giving him depressing pills? Were you giving him healing?
Right.
What were you giving him?
Yeah.
And now the doctor's like on fucking trial.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, it's definitely
like,
gonna
oh,
be
man.
it's definitely gonna be some sort of investigation, but
Oh yeah, now the cops gotta go around. They gotta ask a million questions now, and it starts with the wife, because that's when the first scene happened.
Well, it's an untimely death, so it's automatically going to be investigated.
Well, just like if just to go to something else for a little bit.
Unless the guy fucking wrote a note simply saying, "Listen, officers, it wasn't anybody that drove me to my death. It was me and me alone. No one had anything to do with this. Whether you believe me or not, I took my own life, period. That's it."
But,
you know what I'm saying? Unless I see that suicide note laying around, I gotta ask questions. I gotta know what went on. My job relies on me to make sure that this suicide wasn't... It was something that could have been avoided. That I could have done... We all could have done something. And it didn't just happen because he felt that it was game over and there was no more reason to live anymore.
Right.
Like, what drove him to that point?
Yeah.
But I know we can talk about this all night, but me and John are probably gonna head over and play some club with our other guys,
No, that's fine. I just felt like it needed to be talked about because I know the media is definitely they're not gonna
once
touch
the truth
this.
comes out, we're all gonna understand it more.
Well,
now we can only come out with
I'm not sure.
theories
I'm
and
not
ideas.
sure. I'm not sure if the media is gonna cover it at all. I think they're too busy talking about Russia, talking about Trump, talking about whatever the hell they want to talk about. They're not gonna cover this. This is nothing to them.
No.
This is just
this is
just business as usual. This is what happens in Hollywood. This is what happens in the music. This is what happens when you become famous. This is how they're gonna spin it, and then they're just gonna wipe it under the rug. But people who are fans of Linkin Park want to know what happened to their lead singer.
They will pursue it.
Yeah.
They will pursue this case, this trial. Like, people who like NHL, they know they're not going to find any of that shit on ESPN. You got to go to the NHL network to get what you want from NHL. It's just how shit is. Certain things are not important to others. And this is, like you're saying, they may talk about his death like they did on Thursday, but are they talking about it today? Did they talk about it yesterday? Are they going to talk about it tomorrow? No.
Right.
It's gone in the wind.
No,
it's over.
it will be.
Page
it will
turn.
Be. It'll be gone within. I'm not even gonna give it a week.
Probably by Tuesday.
I'm not even gonna give it a week. Yeah.
The Tuesday they won't even say jack shit about it.
No.
It'll be gone. It'll be dust. It'll be dust in the wind.
They're gonna do a toxicology report.
And that's gonna be it. Whatever it is, that's it. That's what they're gonna say.
Yep.
The only time that they'll actually talk about it is when they go live, Blink-182 at Citi Field, and honor his name. And that's it. They'll show it on the Bigtron in memories of Chester Bennington. The year that he was born, the day that he died, and that will be it.
Yep.
Maybe they'll show that for a few seconds on news channel, like at 10 o'clock at night, whoever the fuck is still up at that time.
Yeah.
And then that's it, because obviously the concert will be at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
But no, man, I was looking forward to that, man. And I'm still looking forward to it, but shit. I'm definitely buying a Linkin Park shirt if they're not so fucking expensive over there. But just to have a memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would.
Yeah. Well.
All right, guys. John, I'll talk to you in a few seconds, but sorry to leave so early, guys, but
no, that's
have
fine.
a good one. We'll talk again.
Yeah, I'm gonna conclude this.
Doesn't always have to be about suicides, but
no, it doesn't. But I like I said, I when I heard about his widow's Twitter account getting hacked, I just had to say something because that was just really that was just so low and disgusting and
No, there's fucking assholes.
ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah,
loaded assholes.
yeah.
There's douchebags
Yeah.
out there that have
I mean,
nothing
I
other
just had to
better
say
to
something
do
because
with
I
their
know the
lives
media
but
is
to
not
hack
gonna
into
say
a dead
anything.
man's account.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna end the stream and then we can finish doing whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna flip over to Netflix anyways, so.
Alright, guys. Have a
Alright,
good
good night,
night.
guys.
See you later.
Good
Night.
talking to you. Peace out for now.
For
See
those
ya.
of you who want to watch hockey,